Ooh, this one hits home, and quite in the literal sense, seeing as I may well be a Blackpool resident very soon. Time to really bring my northerner out after nipping Greggs and going to pub. The Blackpool Heritage Trams, not only are they a staple of Blackpool, they are a staple of British culture and tourism, where even if you've never been to Blackpool, you've seen pictures of the red ones, the green ones, the single ones, the topless ones, the double-decker ones. I've been on them myself, with my parents taking me on them as a young child, and only the other year when I went with my mate so he could do his photography, and with the reasonable price and how friendly the conductors are, and you literally get to ride transport history. It's a very enjoyable experience. I personally recommend, except I can't recommend it now, because the people in charge of the Heritage Trams Blackpool Transport decided it would be a brilliant idea to deactivate the Heritage Tram tours, where most likely they'll be put into the museum only to never move again at worst, or be brought out for selected dates only at best. Now, I'm not going to act like there's no method to this, because there is. As Blackpool Transport said, it's simply because it's now becoming increasingly difficult to operate the Heritage Trams alongside the normal network trams, which he understands. But 1, get good scrubs, that's a skill issue. 2, what's causing this reason is this big redevelopment plan from the council that's trying to get more people into Blackpool with even less infrastructure, causing even more demand for public transport. It's bad enough Blackpool already has the reputation of it's just somewhere to send the druggies, alkies, prostitutes, etc. to, just so the council can fill up on numbers and don't give a shit how derelict the buildings get.
So what's life like in Blackpool?
It's all crackheads, bagheads, pissheads, stabbings, all kinds of mad on here, bro.
It's tough, mate. It's tough. It's hard. It's it's lower end. People are struggling. It's drink and drugs have infested the place.
But that's not just a Blackpool thing. That's been happening to seaside towns all over the UK for years.
But all British resorts, they're on their arse.
It's causing the very idea of the Great British Seaside and Great British Holiday to be terminally ill, as people would much rather fuck off on a Jet2 holiday to Spain or something, because the Great British Seaside is just not economically and pleasurably within interest anymore. I can even attest to this for a completely different coast, as when me and my girlfriend at the time went to Great Yarmouth and we were walking around the shopping centre bit, some of the people there weren't exactly, how can I say, singing "I do like to be beside the seaside."
What's life like in Great Yarmouth these days?
Shithole!
The problem of just chucking the sociably less fortunate at seaside towns to make pseudo pre-development bootle estates just to die in them basically seriously needs to stop, and councils need to look back at what it was that made seaside towns the cornerstones of British society and go back to that. Help out popular fish and chip shops with grants if they're struggling. Speaking of fish, aim to rebuild the British fishing industry so docks aren't just ship graveyards and we're not relying on imported fish. Try to make working relationship with local holiday camps and caravan parks. Actually look after the residents in your council estates instead of doing the usual council thing of waiting until a resident dies from pneumonia before doing something about the mould. And in the case of Blackpool's Heritage Trams, ask Blackpool Transport what it is they actually need for them to continue. While the closure of the Heritage Trams was Blackpool Transport's decision, and people could say, but they're part of the council, they're not the council, so eyes are now on Blackpool Council to see how they will respond, because this seriously begs the question of what else will they let die? The Illuminations? Pleasure Beach? The Piers? It's bad enough people want the future of Blackpool to be an adult Las Vegas super casino when it's a family-friendly seaside for a holiday or a nice day out. So it's about time Blackpool Council made their stance clear on where this redevelopment plan is actually going, if they're happy enough to let the Heritage Trams die after already killing Bonny Street Market.